So you're thinking about ditching your 9 to 5 for the wild, wild web?
Here to tell you that I'm quitting.
But not sure if starting an online business is the right call for you? All I can tell you is from my own experience, starting my first online business was the scariest and the most challenging, and yet at the same time, most exciting and rewarding things that I've ever done. It meant I could finally wave goodbye to that old call centre job and book a one-way ticket to Thailand. Fast forward 10 years and here I am in my condo in the heart of Bangkok, a successful entrepreneur with several successful and profitable online businesses under my belt, a tidy sum in the bank, and the freedom and the flexibility to work from any corner of the globe. And if you're like, Simon, you know what, I'm ready to start my online business, then you definitely want to go to thesimoncrow.com/start. There, you're going to get all the cutting edge tools, step-by-step training and community support that you need to launch a thriving and profitable online business. And if you're still sitting on the fence, then stick with me, because in this video, we're going to walk through the most amazing pros of starting an online business, as well as the biggest cons that you definitely need to know. So let's start with the pros. You can turn your passion into a paycheck. Now for me, this is absolutely huge. You know, when I worked in those call centers, you know, sitting there all day talking about home insurance or banking or whatever it was, you know, I remember getting those Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, that dreading feeling, knowing that I'm gonna have to wake up at 7 a.m. the next morning, sit in rush hour traffic to sit in that call center for hours on end, doing something I had zero interest in. The great thing about starting an online business is that you can decide, you can turn that passion, whatever interest or expertise, you can turn that into your paycheck. Which means in reality that you get to wake up every morning excited about what you're going to do, because you know that you can make a difference in the only way that you can. And to me, that is huge. Imagine waking up excited, right? Monday, I love Mondays now. Mondays are my favorite day because I'm just ready to get into work and do what I love. And that's unbeatable in my eyes. The second one is fearless independence. You know, if you're like me, then you hate working for other people. You know, I used to work my off to keep my bosses happy, right? But it wasn't for me. I had to stick to their silly corporate rules, right? Answering to incompetent bosses. The great thing with online business is you become your own boss. You become the captain of your own ship. You know, if you want to sit at home and work in your pajamas all day, guess what? You can, because it's up to you. You get to decide. If you want to change the direction of your business, you want to focus on this project rather than that one, you know, it's completely up to you. You have complete freedom to chart your own course, right? To be the master of your own destiny. And to me, that's absolutely huge. Pro number 3 is starting an online business is wallet friendly. Now this is really important, because think about how many people out there want to start a business, right, offline, and they have to, you know, rack themselves up in a ton of debt before they even start making a penny of profit. With an online business, your startup costs usually are very, very low, which means that you can, you know, you're not starting from a position of racking up all this debt and, you know, so all those sleepless nights and stressing over, you know, making those bank payments. You can start an online business with very minimal costs and sleep very well at night, knowing that the profit that comes in is actually a profit. It doesn't have to go and pay the debt. So yeah, when you compare starting an online business versus offline, online is definitely the way to go. The next really cool thing for me is that time becomes your ally. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, you've probably heard, if you've ever read like Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, he says something about poor people always sell their time for money, right? And when you're working for somebody else, that's exactly what you're doing. But with an online business, you're actually learning how to leverage your time. So my kind of economy, what I like is putting in the work once, not just getting paid once, but I put in that work. Let's say I spend 2 hours writing an email, right, for my email marketing campaign, or I write that blog post, or I create a video like this, or whatever it may be. I put in that time once, and then I put it out there online, right, and it's continually generating revenue for me. So I put in that time once and I get paid again and again and again. So if you're building, you know, a website, or you're starting a YouTube channel, or, you know, launching an online business, that becomes a digital asset that creates recurring income month after month. And that's my kind of economy. And probably the biggest pro of all is for the person that you become. So for me, bigger than, you know, the profit potential, or, you know, more important than, you know, just being able to scale up and not having a limit on your income, or even the, you know, the freedom to be able to work from anywhere in the world. The biggest thing is Like, as you start an online business, I mean, I promise you, you're going to have challenges, you're going to have obstacles, you're going to think about quitting at times, but if you stick with it and you have that resilience, then a year or two from now, you can look back and say, you know what, I didn't quit. And guess what? I've learned so much stuff. I've developed these high income skills, right? I persevered, I was resilient, I built character. The 10 years that I've been doing this, I've learned so much and I've just developed so much as a person. So yeah, that's a real big one. Don't underestimate that. Imagine if you started your online business today, a year or two down the line, when you look in the mirror, you're not going to see the same person. You're going to become an entirely different person, someone who's more confident, more accomplished, and more sure of who they are because of the things that they've gone through and the things that they've achieved. All right, so those are the biggest pros for me. But you know what this video is all about? We're not going to sugarcoat it. We're going to dive right into the cons now, because I want to give you, it's a big decision that you're about to make, and I want to give you the full picture, the real facts before you dive in. So the first biggest con that I've experienced, I would say, is it's a lonely hustle. If you've ever heard that phrase, solopreneur, then you're going to become really good friends with it, because one thing I do miss about those call center jobs is the banter, right? We'd have a great team and we'd get on, we'd have a laugh together. When you're doing your online business, oftentimes it's just you in your home office or in your bedroom, right? Sitting at that desk, staring at a screen for hours. There's no, water cooler conversations, office gossip, or anything like that. So yeah, you're gonna have to be very intentional about not becoming a hermit, leaving the house and getting social every now and then. You're going to have to put those, those social events into your calendar, because if you're not careful, it can be a very lonely hustle. I'd say the next thing would be the self-discipline struggles. So, it's great being your own boss. You're in charge. It's your online business. You can do whatever you like. But that comes with kind of, cons as well, downsides too, because think about it, you don't have a boss breathing down your neck, making sure you get tasks done. There's no accountability. Everything falls on you, which means that you kind of have to be self-motivated. You have to be self-disciplined, because if you can't, force yourself to get that work done, nobody else is gonna kind of, hold you to account. So, you have a dedicated working space, have a dedicated schedule that you can follow. And you definitely have to learn that self-discipline for sure. Just one more thing I'd probably add to that as well is that oftentimes with online business, you don't see the rewards for your effort that you put in immediately. There's an indirect correlation between the effort you put in and what you get out. So you have to get used to delayed gratification. So the work you put in today might not pay off for another 3 months or so, which kind of, emphasizes even more the need to be self-disciplined. You have to get used to that delayed gratification. It's definitely a skill, an emotional skill to develop. All right, now let's talk about the roller coaster income, especially when you're in the beginning stages, right? So the first few months when you're starting your online business, guess what? Your income is not going to be consistent, right? It's going to be, might go up, might be very high month 1, it might be 0 month 2. It's going to be like this. It's not going to be sustainable. It's not going to be consistent. Over time, hopefully, as your business grows and develops, then of course that income is going to become, more stable. But definitely in the beginning stages, if you do start an online business, prepare yourself for that roller coaster income in the beginning. As I say, over time, it does get better if you stick with it and keep at it. As your income grows, it definitely does get better. But it's just something to be aware of. I'd say another downside to starting an online business is what I like to call midnight oil addiction. So it's great to be passionate about what you do. It's great to love what you do. But the danger there is that it becomes all-consuming and you can become completely obsessed. And don't get me wrong, maybe there's stages in your business, as you're first launching, that you do need to be completely obsessed, right? And just, zone out everything else and really focus in on what you're doing. But that's not sustainable in the long term, right? That's just going to lead to burnout. So I remember, when I first started 10 years ago, I was in my late 20s. I could, I would wake up in the morning and work, and then finish work, go to bed, and wake up and do the exact same thing. And, you can do that at times. I can't do that anymore. I'm too old for that. So that's when having a right work-life balance really comes into play. And you need to learn how to separate your business from your personal life, which is really hard, especially when your home office is in your bedroom, right? But yeah, you definitely need to learn that. Just to learn how to switch off. With a 9-to-5 job, right, you just, swipe out at 5 p.m. You don't have to think about it anymore. When it's your own business, when it's your little baby that you're trying to grow, it's going to be always going to be on your mind. So yeah, that is definitely a downside to getting that right work-life balance is really critical to your long-term success. I would say the fifth and final con really to starting an online business is DIY overload, right? It's your business, and in the beginning you're probably wearing many hats. You're probably going to be the content creator, you're going to be the strategist, you're going to be the tech guy, you're going to be the, you're wearing many hats. You're going to be creating images, you're going to be reaching out to new clients, you're going to be dealing with customer care, you're going to do everything yourself. And so that's a lot of skills that you're going to have to learn and a lot of hats to wear. Now the good thing is, over time, as your income grows, you can then start outsourcing those tasks, especially those tasks that you don't like so much, or maybe someone else can do it in half the time, so it's worth paying for. You can outsource, you can build a team so that other people help lighten the load. But definitely in the beginning, as you're starting an online business, you are going to be doing most of the work yourself. So that's just good to know, I think. All right, so now that we've gone through the main pros and cons of starting an online business, it's time really to listen to your gut, right? What is your gut saying? And there's a few questions that can really help you to decide whether this is the right call for you right now at this time. Maybe it's the right call, but not right now. So let's go through kind of a few questions kind of to help you to decide whether this is a good call for you or not. I guess the first question is, are you ready for a challenge? Because starting an online business is definitely a challenge, but it's a project, it's a challenge that you can really sink your teeth into. If you're really up for that, I would say life is too short and you shouldn't give it a second thought. Head over to thesimoncrowe.com/start and just start today. You definitely will not regret it. Yes, you're going to have hiccups along the way, but it's going to be an exciting ride. So yeah, definitely just get started today. I guess the next question is, do you value stability? Because I would say, if that rollercoaster income thing we were talking about before, if you value stability, then probably starting an online business is probably not the best thing for you right now, because the income does ebb and flow. You can't rely on that consistent income in the beginning, right? You're not going to get that paycheck at the end of the month. It's based on you. It's down to you. So if you value stability, then maybe don't start an online business right now. Next question is, how do you feel about working for other people? If you're like me, then the idea of having to answer to a boss for the rest of your life just makes your skin crawl, right? But not everyone is like that. Some people don't mind, right? Some people prefer to be told what rules to follow and what they need to do. It's clear for them. But if you're like me and you hate answering to a boss and you want to, call your own shots, then definitely start your online business and start today. The next question I'd ask you is, how much time do you realistically have to put into your business? Starting an online business is going to take a lot of work and it's going to take a lot of time. I would say if you can invest at least, I'd say 2 hours a week into your online business, then you can make a good start. Clearly, if you're going to be able to put more time, then you're going to see results a lot quicker. But look at your schedule realistically and take an honest look and say, do I have time right now to take on this project, and can I put this time in? If you do, then go for it, right? Take the first step and never look back. If you don't, then maybe starting an online business is not the best thing for you right now at this moment, and that's okay. My last question to you is, are you ready to live life on your own terms? If the idea of having the freedom and flexibility to work wherever, whenever you want gets your heart racing, then you likely have what it takes to run a very successful online business. So there you have it. I really hope you found it helpful, and if you have found this video helpful, be sure to leave me a like. I really appreciate that. And you know what, if you're one of these people that have said, I'm definitely going to start an online business, this year is going to be my year, then I would definitely recommend you watch this next video, because in my honest opinion, starting an affiliate marketing business is the best type of online business to start. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through step by step exactly how to build your $10,000 a month business from scratch. So you don't want to miss out on that. All right, guys, until next time, take care.